give people a chance to get in here. I don't know if anyone's in here. It's not really showing. Hey, is anyone in here? Hey, how's it going, sweet? Yeah, I decided to give it a shot. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Constitution because this week is actually pretty special constitutional-wise. Did you know on the 20th is when the Constitution, these next coming weeks, all the way up until like sometime in December, when the Constitution was finally ratified, there was discussions between states on how to on what to include and if the Bill of Rights should be a thing. So I thought a discussion about the Bill of Rights would be quite appropriate for this time. Hey Tony, how's it going? Just give people a few more minutes to get in here before I start. Good, glad to hear. Hope you all enjoy the content. I know I missed a few things. Auditors say. I realized as soon as I finished it too, I missed the whole e-begging and just the tyrants and all that. But I can always add that stuff in another video. Plus, it was getting pretty long. It was almost 20 minutes. I don't want it to be super long. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and get started. So I figure a talk about the Constitution would be very suited right now for just the time frame. 200 years ago, the Constitution was being drafted. It was being discussed as putting it into context. And yes, it is. Yeah, right. You're right. You're totally right. I could totally keep doing a bunch of different things on that. And I think, what? I might just do that. So, like I said, it was 200 years ago. So right now, today, 200 years ago, states were arguing with each other, talking about, well, this should be included, this shouldn't be included. And an amendment that a lot of people didn't know about or don't know about a whole lot about because not really teach all that much. The Ninth Amendment had a lot to do with it. So I found this article in my email this week, actually today, and thought it was quite interesting. It's right here. Americans should remember the Ninth Amendment. And I'll just go ahead and start reading this. If it'll scroll for me. Come on, scroll for me. Alright. 230 years ago today, on November 20th, 1789, New Jersey became the first state to ratify the proposed amendments to the Constitution that we now know as the Bill of Rights. Over the next 2 years, other states followed suit, culminating in the adoption of the amendments in December of 1791. It almost didn't happen. Supporters of the Bill of Rights won their opponents over, though thanks in large part to the inclusion of the Ninth Amendment. So just off the bat, how many of you know what the Ninth Amendment is? Just out of knowing it for yourself. Does anybody? Because I didn't. Okay. So it looks like you guys there are probably a couple that do. But so far, 2 people say no. All right. Right here. If you're straining to remember what you learned in civics class about the Ninth Amendment, you're not alone. Despite the importance of the rights protected by the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, surveys over the past few decades have consistently... Come on, scroll. Sorry, my phone is being really stupid right now. Scroll. There we go. And surveys over the past few decades have consistently shown that Americans know little about either the Bill of Rights or the Constitution as a whole. So what's in a Bill of Rights? For starters, it's not long. Altogether, the 10 amendments are only 462 words and could be tweeted out in 10 tweets. Those 462 words pack a punch. Though explicitly protecting a broad range of rights, from the freedom of speech to the right to a speedy and public trial, the scope of several of the amendments, such as the Second Amendment and its right to keep and bear arms, remains a hotly contested issue today. Others rarely breach the surface of public discourse. The Third Amendment's prohibition against illegally housing soldiers in the homes of private citizens has been so effective that it has scarcely ever been litigated. The Ninth Amendment falls into the latter category. It barely registers in the public sphere. If the Third Amendment is the least relevant of the Bill of Rights to Supreme Court jurisprudence, then the Ninth Amendment is the second least relevant. The Supreme Court's regulation of the Ninth Amendment to the dusty attic of judicial doctrine is odd when you read it, though. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Others retained by the people is powerful language. Does it mean that Americans have constitutional rights not actually written in the Constitution? It depends whom you ask. to arm bears. That would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? I don't know if I really want to arm a bear, though. They're already pretty mean and fast. During his infamously confirmation hearings as a Supreme Court nominee in 1987, then Judge Robert Bork said the meaning of the Ninth Amendment was too uncertain for judges to enforce, famously comparing it to an uninterpretable ink blot. This fit with Judge Bork's belief that there are no unenumerated or unwritten constitutional rights. Fast forward 30 years to the 2017 confirmation hearing of Neil Gorsuch, though, and you get a markedly different answer. When Senator Bill Sassy, we'll call him Sassy. Senator Bill Sassy asked then Judge Gorsuch what the Ninth Amendment means. Gorsuch answered simply, "I think it means what it says," echoing an argument made in a 2006 Law Review article by Georgetown law professor Randy Barnett titled, "The Ninth Amendment, It Means What It Says." Right. And then... No, not you. There we go. In his article, Barnett reviews the historical evidence for the meaning of the Ninth Amendment and concludes that the amendment uniquely provides explicit guidance on how to interpret the Constitution. Specifically, it tells us that unenumerated rights deserve no less protection from courts than those that were enumerated. Accordingly, interpretations contrary to that principle are constitutionally prohibited. The inclusion of an amendment dictating constitutional interpretation is a result of serious worries among the founding generation that a Bill of Rights would actually lead to less liberty, not more. James Wilson, one of the Constitution's drafters, argued that a Bill of Rights would endanger liberty by implying that any rights left off the list were unprotected, because it would be impossible to list all the rights that a person holds. It was better not to have a Bill of Rights at all. Instead, he argued the Constitution protected liberty by carefully limiting the powers held by the government. The Ninth Amendment was a compromise measure. By clarifying that listing certain rights did not mean that other rights were less protected, the drafters thought they had covered all of their bases. The rights listed in the first 10 amendments would be protected, but so would those that were not listed, or ones that maybe they would come up with. So it's kind of like a catch-all. That was important because the rights listed in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights amendments are hardly comprehensive. Notably, left off of the list is a principal right asserted in the Declaration of Independence, the right to alter or abolish an unjust and abusive government. This and other rights were included in the Bill of Rights of many state constitutions, but they were not explicitly listed in the Bill of Rights amendments to the National Constitution. The Ninth Amendment ensured that these rights would not be demoted to second-class status as people like James Wilson had feared. Which, when you think about it, is definitely something to think about. I mean, if it's not listed there, people can argue, well, it's not part of the Bill of Rights, so you don't really have that right. But the Ninth Amendment fixed that, and it actually made it to where a lot more states were able to get on board with that, which is really fascinating. The Ninth Amendment has grown only more important over time. Though the protections of the Bill of Rights amendments originally applied only to the federal government, the 14th Amendment has been interpreted to apply those protections against state governments as well, although which part of the 14th Amendment does this remains a subject of considerable debate. The Ninth Amendment's interpretive rule applies here too, foreclosing the argument that only the rights specifically listed in the Bill of Rights are enforceable against the states. The animating principle of the Ninth Amendment is one that, as Justice Stevens wrote, goes to the very core of the constitutional relationship between the individual and governmental authority. Although the Ninth Amendment has only rarely been explicitly invoked by the Supreme Court, you can see its fingerprints on many of the court's decisions. The court's protection of unenumerated fundamental rights that are deeply rooted in this nation's history and tradition acknowledges that today, as at the time of founding, listing every one of a person's rights is impossible. Our Constitution is one of expansive rights and limited government. The Ninth Amendment's inclusion in the Bill of Rights reminds us and the Supreme Court not to interpret it otherwise. So, there we go. So that's quite interesting. What do you got? I'm gonna look at the. This is the problem with the Constitution. Yeah, it's not kept over. Sorry. Yeah, I would totally agree with you on that one. It definitely needs to be update, especially with, like you're saying, the technology. It doesn't apply to a lot of facets of someone's online life per se, or just many different things. So I agree with you. Yeah, totally agree. So yeah, so it's interesting. I had no idea about the Ninth Amendment. I'm sure many frauditors don't know about the Ninth Amendment as well. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that that's a really important amendment? And I also wanted to talk to you guys about maybe what amendments do you hold to be the most important, just to you, maybe in your everyday life, or just the meanings of them. Which ones really stick home with you guys? Second Amendment, that's one for a lot of people. So then you are probably more against, them even taking away the big guns that they want to do. So that's what, and you know what, and that's, I would agree with that, because it's there. They shouldn't just take stuff away, because that's a dangerous precedent to set. They start taking away the guns, it goes to something else, which is why I'm totally against socialism in general, just because it gives the government way too much power than they need. Yeah, you're right. If you have the guns, they're not going to take shit away from you. So that's very, very true. What about someone else? Sweet, if you're still there, what about you? Which one really, really resonates with you? Or you, Morgie, which one resonates with you? Even though you're not, I don't even think you're from the U.S., are you, Morgie? I think you're from some other country. So you're in agreement with Taze, Tony? The Second Amendment is the most powerful to you as well? You're in agreement with Taze about the Second Amendment being the most powerful to you as well? Cool. Right. Yep. It's a very important one. And hey, while we're all here, also, there's been, like, how the auditors like to talk about, they use the freedom of press. Now, I've been doing a lot of research into this, and I keep putting in freedom of press versus free press. I have not found one article that compares the two, but if you look up each one, they are completely different. I find it very interesting that there has not been one article published to differentiate the two. That's just quite interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. I got you, Taze. I got you. So yeah, so the freedom of press is the press's ability to not, they won't have their story squashed by Big Brother. And free press is essentially just press, being able to, freedom of press is what the free press uses. You can't have one without the other. But they are two separate, different things. You can have freedom of the press without a free press, but you can't have free press. Wait, that's not right. You can have free press. No, you can have freedom of the press without free press, but you can't have a free press without freedom of the press. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with you, Sweet. Especially like Auditing America goes in and he tells just general public or the public people that are working for the Energy Commission, you have to respect my freedom of the press. Like, no, they're not trying to squash your freedom of the press. They're not trying to prosecute you for anything, so it doesn't apply to you. That's you're misinterpreting it. Just like they misinterpret Poster 7 and all these different things. They just they take everything to they interpret it enough to where it works for them, but then they stop the interpretation right there. It's really annoying how they do that. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. Will mainly, Anselmo mainly, Josh when he was doing it. Is there any news on Josh? I'm just curious. Has anyone heard anything? Yeah. Yes, exactly. You're absolutely right. There is a difference. Yeah, and he also likes to claim that when he goes into a government building when they ask for his ID, it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And no, because you don't have to go through it. If you want to go in the building, you do. They're not making you do it. It's your choice to go through the building and do it. So it's not a violation. And what they also fail to realize is their buddy, well, maybe not their buddy, but Bush and the whole 9/11 Commission kind of took away a lot of rights when 9/11 happened. Everyone got scared, and all of a sudden, a bunch of rights just flew right out the window. Yes, exactly. Unreasonable. So it's good to hear that she actually does have a restraining order out on him, which is fantastic, I think. I'm really hoping it's not her that's trying to get the money. Maybe it could be just Josh. Who knows? It could be either one of them, or it could be. My money's on Hawkeye because I haven't seen Hawkeye in a long ass time. But yeah, unreasonable. So like, and they don't. They don't ever complain about when they go through their TSA searches, and when they get ID'd at certain federal buildings, and it's not every federal building. It's the ones that have some sort of historical importance or an important foundation for our government, then you get ID'd. And you don't necessarily have to get it unless for some reason you have to go up to the office. Then yes, you're going to show your ID. Well, I don't understand what the problem is showing your ID. I mean, he doesn't have a problem going through the Rhode Island metal detector. He takes all stuff off and he goes through the metal detector. He never has an issue with that. But when he goes to other places, like, oh, why do I have to do this? He's just doing it for content. It's really annoying. And, I think the founders of our nation and the writers of the Constitution would be rolling over in the grave at the way some of these auditors misinterpret and misuse the Constitution. Oh yeah, most definitely. When they went after Iraq, that was just ridiculous. Iraq had nothing to do with it. And then, and I'm gonna say this, Will's actually right about this part at least, that 9/11 was actually, I don't know if it's an illegal war, because the Supreme Court, they actually took Bush and Cheney to court over this, saying, well, Congress didn't consent to war. They didn't declare war. They took them to court, and the Supreme Court pretty much just came back and said, well, now normally, yes, that's true, but I can't remember exactly the wording on it, but they ruled in Bush's favor to where the president can do it, can declare war if Congress relinquishes their power to him, which apparently they did. And not 5 days after the Supreme Court made that decision, we invaded Iraq. I mean, 9/11 just opens your eyes up to how fast our government can work when it wants to. So when it's going slow, it's because they want it to go slow. Because it can move at breakneck speed if it wanted to. Yeah, true. It's not a suicide pact. Not at all. Totally agree with you. Well, who do you think, who are you thinking says it's a suicide pact, Taze? So yeah, so okay, so you're okay with the certain buildings getting oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I also don't have a problem with certain buildings requiring ID or anything like that. And you just think how much of a cow some of the others that are so worried about this are going to have when the Real ID Act at least goes completely in effect in the US. I mean, they are going to flip their shit when that happens. It's going to be funny to watch. And it's amazing, like, especially with Auditing America, he loves to go to state houses. I think he likes to go to them so he could talk about the Fourth Amendment, because he realizes a lot of them aren't going to allow him in without, searching him, showing his ID. He knows this, so he does it on purpose. I can only think that. That's speculation, but that's what I think. Yes, Taze, I am a veteran. I served in the Army. I was a MI 35 Foxtrot, military intel analyst. And yeah, Morgie, definitely. That's what they did. They totally used it. And yeah, every single war that has been used. But it was such a stupid way, because we were so just like, oh my God, we can't believe this happened to us. For some reason, someone said Iraq, and because we had issues with Iraq, I guess everyone's like, oh, okay, well, it must be them. And weapons of mass destruction. Okay, that's great. What did that have to do with the Twin Towers falling? Absolutely nothing. No one really thought that through until it was too late, You're welcome, sweet. And it was really cool. Still use social security numbers. That was your service number. What branch did you serve? And what was your MLS and what was your rank, sir? You're welcome, Tony G. If you serve yourself, thanks for your service as well. I mean, yeah, anybody. Maggie, what's up? How it doing? We're just having a little talk about the Constitution, because this month and a part of next month, the Constitution was being discussed 230 years ago. It was just a discussion. It wasn't quite a thing yet. So I thought this would be a great time to have a little constitutional discussion. And you're just in time. Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, I see you on that. I feel you on that one. But maybe it's just me, but I feel, okay, so they were financing them. Then I don't know. I just feel we should have went after Al Qaeda first, and then after Iraq. I mean, because we already knew we could kick Iraq's ass, and we're still fighting Afghanistan and Al Qaeda. I mean, we're taking down leaders, but it's just like a nine-headed serpent. We cut off a head, 2 or 3 more grow. It's like the war on drugs. It's just gonna never end. DOD. Oh, okay. Navy. All right, right on, man. Thank you for your service as well. See, I was going to do the Navy, but I don't like the water. And I don't like the things in the water. Sharks and stingrays and, excuse me, all that. I couldn't do that. I was going to do the Air Force too, but then I decided, nah, I'll just do the Army. Right on. So what did you do when you were in the Navy? Sweet, you were in the service too? Oh, okay, cool. Right on, Taze. 74 to 80. So you got out the year I was born. Right on. A lot of yeah, I bet. 6 years. Is that too soon? Do you like the ships, or do you like did you like being on the water, or did you not? Do you miss it at all? Because I find myself missing service as well. Just the brotherhood of it all, brotherhood and sisterhood of it all. It really is. Unless you've done it, you really can't understand it. And which is why I can totally understand the brotherhood that the police have, because it's really similar to the brotherhood and the sisterhood that the military personnel have, Oh, right on. Aircraft carrier. Oh, you're in the water too. Man, all you water people. You guys got more courage than I do, that's for damn sure. I couldn't do the water. No, sir. No, sirree. So, for all you new people, which amendment is the most important to you? So far, we've had, so far it's been unanimous that it's been the Second Amendment for some people who are here so far, but maybe some of you new people will have a different amendment you guys prefer as well. Yes, Maggie, for real. Which is why I totally hate it when people badmouth the police, because there are bad police, just like there are bad military personnel. You shouldn't categorize them all, just like there are good auditors and there are bad auditors. We shouldn't categorize them all. I've seen some good auditors. I'm a guest at Press. I like him. Nasty Nathaniel, I love how he messes with the Scientologists, because they are just whack jobs and are total against the constitutional rights. What's up, Jim? How's it going? Ah, 30 years in Army. Oh, right on. Right on. That's cool, sweet. So what did he do when he was in Army? Yes, Maggie, bad everywhere. And we can't make everyone out to be bad just because, they're bad. And we also got to remember that it's a brotherhood. Just like, and what kills me is these auditors. You see how all these auditors, when all this news came out about Josh, for instance, or Anselmo, for instance, we still have auditors that are supporting them, right? Even though they've done some bad things, Josh still did bad things and misinformed and all this stuff, yet there are auditors that were still defending him. How is that any different from a police officer defending another police officer for doing something wrong? Do they not see the similarities to the two, what they're doing? They're getting on them for this brotherhood, yet they're demonstrating the same brotherhood. It's weird. It's mind-numbing. It's like, wow, do you not see this? I mean, it's right in front of you. Oh, Logistic. Nice. Yes, Army has MOS. So they call them NEC in the Navy. Okay. I know a lot of Marines, and I know some Coast Guard people too. I know some Army people. I actually know another 35 Foxtrot, the same MOS as I did. See, I know a few Air Force, but it's mostly Marines, and I give them a lot of shit because, Army and Marines. I don't really give the Navy too much shit because, only because they're out in the water and, I always give the Marines a bunch of crap like, yeah, you guys need a ride to the fight. We don't need a ride. We carry ourselves to the fight. The Marines need the Navy to take them. So, did you guys give the Marines shit when you were in the Navy, Taze? Exactly, Maggie. They do. They don't see the whole picture. Just like we were discussing how they take the Constitution and break it down to, to meet their needs, just like sovereign citizens do. But at least, no, that's not true, because Will definitely take, I was just about to say they don't take old law and try and make it new. Will did that with the Posse Comitatus Act. He tried to tell that those National Guard members that you're breaking the law. That's the Constitution doesn't allow them to be there. No, because the National Guard is actually there because of the Constitution, Willie boy. But, I bet you he knew that too. He's just, trying to sound smart. Oh, okay. Cool. Yes, exactly, Morgie. And I think I am going to add to my intro. When I just wanted to do a real quick one. So I put in his screams. I also want to put in that clip of Anselmo going, no, why are you following me? Why are you following? When that cop was chasing him, I want to put in that. I have a gun being cocked and locked, and I want to put that in it too. And I think I'm going to fix the beginning, because the beginning is supposed to say, auditors should be something about auditors should be, I don't know, it has something to do with auditors. And I put it to echo, but I don't think you can really hear it with the echo. So I think I'm gonna take out the echo and then add in those 2 clips, just because I think, I don't know, it'll be funny. Plus, everyone seems to really dig the Joe Orga scream, so I think I'll add a little bit to it and make it really fun. Yeah, true, Morgie. Yeah, I don't have an issue with Marines. It's just, they're always on our base in the Army, man. And they would always walk around like their shit didn't stink. It's like, all right, guys, come on now. We're all on the same side. Yeah, isn't it? I love that video. Oh, that's like one of my favorite Anselmo videos. Oh, phone's gonna die. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Anselmo videos. It's freaking hilarious. He's just Anselmo's just one of those, he's a weird guy. Definitely. But you, Maggie, what is the most important amendment to you? Corps Amendment and Marines are actually Navy. Yeah, see, I don't know too much about the Navy or anything. But it makes sense, Marine Corps and all. Yeah, Tony, he got so owned. It was wonderful. I never get old. It never gets old watching him get owned. Okay. There's quite a few of them on Army bases. They usually have 1 or 2 things there. I'm sure they have a bunch of them on the Navy bases too. Where were you stationed? Yeah, definitely. No, I never saw that. I heard that's what he said, but he's too young unless he got out with like a dishonorable discharge or maybe a general discharge. But he didn't serve he definitely didn't serve no 4 years if he's been doing auditing for so long. Hey, David, didn't see you come in. Welcome. Right on. Good for you, Morgie. I've never been to Thailand. I want to go to Thailand, though. Think it'll be pretty awesome. Oh, he didn't retire from it. Okay, he said it in a Discord. What Discord is he in? I've never seen him on the... I've never seen him in the, which one is it? I'm in 3 Discords. I'm in Bristol's Discord. I'm in the A Balance Discord. I don't think it's A Balance. It's like the, I can't remember which one it is. And then the one I'm in with Save. Those are only Discords I'm in. Odin, yeah, that's what I'm in. I'm in the Odin too. Patty came. Oh, so wait, I saw him one day. It said him and Selena were in, but I thought it was just someone playing as them. So that was actually them? Yeah, because I went in there when I saw it said him and then Selena was there, but I thought it was just someone playing as them. No, you sent me the links for the cop stuff, not that though. You told me about Patty though, but you didn't send me a link to that. But I did see his him begging for money, and a lot of people were saying that you were saying, and not only you but other people were saying that it's old, and then he took it down. Yeah, if he has some sexual charges, Maury definitely would totally discount him for doing that. Singapore and Korea. Wow, right on. Okay, cool. Thanks, sweet. I don't think he likes the videos I'm doing. Oh yeah, one of the videos I did on him, the one where I did his video, he Selena actually copyright striked it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fight him. Like whatever, Dick, I'm not gonna do that. So that's one of the main reasons I've been kind of like keeping on him. Like, oh, you guys want to play? Okay, because I don't think it was me using their video that's anything. Because I've used a video of his before, and I'm using it for news content, so it's not like I'm claiming it's mine or anything. So I'm like, oh, apparently he didn't like the fact that, I'm keeping track of him and his court date. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, now I'm just going to keep keeping track of it. I wasn't going to, but I decided, yeah, why not? I've been trying to get an interview with Nasser Nathaniel. I emailed him. I asked him. He said, well, he'll think about it. And then I gave him the link to my channel, and he hasn't got back to me yet. I'm thinking maybe he thinks that I'm going to try and trash him or something like that, but that's not true. I actually really like his content. I just wanted to interview him to see, what he could tell me on Scientology and all that, but haven't heard from him. So if any of you have contact with him, just let him know that I have nothing but good intentions at all. That would be great if you guys could, if any of you have any contact with him, but yeah, I'm sure he does. No, it's not him. It's actually Selena that does it. As always, even in his videos where the person gets arrested, it's usually Selena. Selena definitely wears the pants in that relationship. Definitely. Nice. I like his videos, man. He's like a real cool dude, and I just love what he does to the Scientologists. He doesn't always go around to public buildings, but he's usually really cordial. He's really cool. He doesn't let them step all over him, but he's also not one of these, frauditors out there that are doing, just stupid stuff. So that's why I respect him. Yeah, he seems like a real cool dude. So, are there any other auditors that you guys would like to see me look at that I haven't yet? Aside from Furry Potato, people told me about Furry Potato, so I'm gonna look into Furry Potato. But is there anyone else? All right, sweet. Have a good one. I'll look forward to that email, and should be interesting to see. CCW, who's CCW? I have no idea who CCW is. Oh, it's my brother. Amagasit. Oh, I did a video on Amagasit. He's a pretty good guy. Cal Citizen Watch. Okay. I'll check him out. I'll check Cal Citizen Watch out. I've been looking at Arizona Auditor because I saw a newspaper article that he got about an arrest he had, and he just got a settlement. So I was thinking about doing some stuff on him. Ah, okay. What do you guys think about what's her face? Pink Camera Magic. What do you guys think or know about her? I do. Is it WS? Okay. Yeah, I saw her because I was gonna do I want to do another auditor show off, standoff, or whatever I call it, and I was gonna do her against everyone's favorite female that I've portrayed, not portrayed, but I've showed. I can't even think of her name right now. Carolina and Fort Worth. Oh, is she? Okay. AP is teaching his son. Oh yeah, I think the video that I had auditor watched, his son was in there. It was the one he went to Target, and the people were, he was real cool. He was cordial. He wasn't, but he definitely stood his ground, and that's why I like him. He's just another one of those that he won't let them do anything they're not supposed to do, but he won't get overly upset or overly aggressive than he has to get his point across, which I can totally respect that. Ah, okay. See, I don't know much. I saw a couple of Catilla's videos. I understand she doesn't really, from my understanding, she doesn't really do it anymore. Pink Camera Magic, I saw a couple of hers. She's all right. Carolina Fort Worth just strikes me as she's very, very she's aggressive, but she's passive aggressive. Like you'll see her say, "Oh, you don't need a facelift," and then later in the video, that woman really needed a facelift. Just totally passive aggressive towards people. It's pretty ridiculous. And CCW is a Cal Citizen Watch, correct? I agree. High Desert is bad, and SGV, yeah, he's pretty bad. But here's the thing with SGV. I see his audits, and anything he doesn't do with, because he likes to do the Scientology buildings with Nasty Nathaniel, and I'm like, okay, go be nasty to them because they deserve it because they are just horrible, horrible people, horrible organization. So I give him a pass on that, but if he's not doing that, then I think he should tone it down, definitely. I thought about doing something on him, but I'm like, but I do like the way he does the Scientologist. But yeah, he's pretty freaking nasty though. A real comedian. Also, California Citizen Watch. Okay. I'll check him out. And then see California. What do you guys think about California? It's another California. It's not Guardian. It's News Now California. What do you guys think of News Now California? A lot of news nows. Shala Mahela. Yeah. What do you guys think about News Now California? Okay. Well, so we all know what auditors we don't like. What about some auditors maybe that I don't know about that you guys actually find bearable and you enjoy their videos? Or which auditors do you guys like that I should check out? Because I'm always up for finding an auditor that is doing a good job. Okay. See, I can respect an auditor that does that. Okay, guys. Well, this was fun, but I think I'm gonna head out. Got some stuff I gotta take care of. But it's been fun. We should do this again. vindictive and wants to file complaints. NNC. Is that News Now Carolina? Yeah, Minnesota Guardian. I've done one on him. I think I'll do some more. I thought it was funny when he got his phone taken from him. That was a hilarious video. Alright guys, well this is a lot of fun. I gotta catch you guys later. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And please share any videos you want to so I can get some more subscribers. Love to get more subs, so that'll be fun. Alright, but catch you guys later and see you next time. Peace.